Is Beetlejuice 2 canceled? Well, it certainly looks like it. Let's first start at the beginning. The original Beetlejuice came out in 1988 and it was a huge success, a huge hit, especially for the budget and of its type. So naturally, they have been planning on making a sequel ever since the early 90s. And something happened. It never went through. They could never get the script right. 2013 is when talks came back up for a sequel, and then it died again. 2016 was the latest that it started to come up again. And the original writers, Seth Grahame-Smith and Mike Vucadinovic, they wanted to come back. They showed interest in coming back. Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, and even Winona Ryder have all expressed interest in returning. So what's the problem? Well, recently, a spokeswoman from the studio, she gave a quote saying, "The project isn't in active development." Basically just shutting this damn thing down. And that sucks. Tim Burton replied saying that there's nothing. I don't know. I doubt it will happen. So Tim Burton sounds very defeated. Sounds like, yeah, this isn't something that's moving forward at all. The original writer, at least one of the original writers, Larry Wilson, he gave a quote a while ago saying, "The bottom line is Tim Burton and Michael Keaton are not going to think about a sequel unless it somehow catches the energy of the first film." And that's not easy. Beetlejuice really was lightning in the bottle, and he's right. It totally was. I don't ever expect a sequel to Beetlejuice to be just as good or better than the original. But I will say this. It has potential. It has every reason to be just as good because of the idea, because of the characters, because of how far you can take this afterlife stuff, because of how great Michael Keaton was as Beetlejuice. It's baffling that his character, who is the title of the movie, if you add up all of his scenes, he's only in it for about 15 minutes. But yet, we remember his character, we remember his role, we remember these specific scenes with him. That's how much of an impression he left off. That's how much he stuck with us when the movie was over. So imagine what Michael Keaton could do today. Tim Burton, sure, you could say he hasn't had a huge hit in a long time, and maybe that's a bigger reason why the studio is hesitant to give him another big budget type film, because look, Alice in Wonderland, the sequel, Dumbo, a few other movies recently just hasn't been a huge box office hit. Since this isn't happening, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about this? Are you sad? Are you upset? Are you just as angry as I am that we're not going to get a Beetlejuice 2 anytime soon? If you ask me, I want Michael Keaton, before it's all said and done, before he gets too old, before it's too late, I need him to do a Beetlejuice 2, and I need him to do Batman Beyond. Those are two movies that I desperately want Michael Keaton to do in my lifetime. Also, hypothetically, if there was a Beetlejuice 2, what would we do with Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis? Would we bring them back? Could you bring them back? Because obviously the actors over 30 years later have gotten older. And in the movie, they're dead and they're ghosts, so you can't have ghost age. Could you use the de-aging formula like from the Star Wars movies or the Marvel movies that have done it pretty successfully? Could they pull that off? Or would they just write those characters off? I ask this because they were the main characters of the original film. It's easy to forget that because it's called Beetlejuice. We remember Beetlejuice. Hell, we even remember Winona Ryder more. But when you watch that first movie, we start the story with these two. We follow them as they die and go to the afterlife. We follow them for a big majority of that first film. It would be weird to not have them referenced or mentioned or a part of the film at all. Anyways, just random thought. Let me know what you think of those two characters, those two actors. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!